Role of GTO in muscle performance. The first role of GTO is role in forceful contraction. It can stop muscle to generate more tension. How? By inhibitory role. What is inhibitory role? Whenever there is any forceful contraction, the signal will go to spinal cord, and spinal cord has a synapse with alpha motor neuron, which is responsible for contraction of muscle. So it will stop giving signal to alpha motor neuron. When your alpha motor neuron will not get signal, your muscle will not contract, it will relax. Second role of Golgi role in inverse stretch reflex. What is inverse stretch reflex? We are going for relaxation. We are always performing stretching exercises, and we feel comfort. We feel relaxed after stretching. All athletes are going for stretching exercises, and we all feel relaxing after. Even we are putting tension, putting stretch, putting lengthening of muscle, but we feel relaxed. So it is mainly because of GTOs. When you apply stretch and you maintain the stretching for a long time, because of presence of GTO, the muscle gets relaxed, and this is known as stretch reflex response. What is stretch response? When relaxation of muscle due to powerful stretch is called inverse stretch reflex. It is inhibition of contraction of extrafusal fiber due to excessive stretching is so called autogenic inhibition. As I have explained you in first inhibitory mechanism, what happens when there is forceful contraction? When there is forceful contraction, the spinal cord can stop giving signal to alpha motor neuron, no muscle activity. Same as what is tightness? Tightness is excessive contraction. Tightness of muscle is excessive contraction or static contraction of muscle. So when you apply stretch, as I have told you, stretch doesn't have any role over GTOs. But when you apply stretch, it can stop the GTO activity, and when GTO activity is stopped, muscle can get relaxed. Next is role in lengthening reaction. Stretch reflex and lengthening reaction is same. Lengthening when tension increases during contraction caused by stress reflex. Tension increases during contraction caused by stress reflex. This causes development of spinal reaction called lengthening reaction. When you apply stretching, spinal cord get aware that this area is shortened, and it will stop inhibition, stop giving signal, so muscle will not contract, and when muscle will not contract, it will relax. So ultimately, GTO is awareing our spinal cord about the contraction. Main role of, in a summary, main role of GTO is prevent excessive tension generation in muscle. Okay, so by preventing muscle for tension generation, tension mean contraction, tension mean contraction, and relaxation mean stretching. So when GTO is stopping development of tension, it means it is stopping development of contraction. So relaxation is the opposite of tension or contraction. So when GTO is helping in prevention of contraction, so ultimately it is helping in development of relaxation. This is the main function of GTO. Next, an important third receptor which is presently main available in joint sensing organ. How much range you should achieve for performing a particular movement is controlled by Pacinian corpuscles. They are smaller sensory fibers present in your articular cartilage, your joint, which can inform our joint to perform a specific activity according to requirement of the task. Sometimes if you want, suppose if I want to jump this whole block, so I need to extend, we should go for more knee extension and more hip flexion. Clear? When I need to jump, we need more knee extension and more hip flexion. When I want to take a smaller step, we need less knee flexion and less hip flexion. So how we can control, because there is no eyes present in either knee or hip, but according to need we can decide our step. According to task, according to sport, we can decide the stepping. How this things are possible. It means there is some structure which are giving information to joint, and these are known as Pacinian corpuscles. They are mainly responsible for joint sense. After injury, after immobilization, these number of these corpuscles is decreased. That's why we all say the person individual joint is decreased proprioception, and we are going for proprioception training, main training. All for it is must for all athletes, for all sport activities. You should have proper joint sensing. Otherwise, you are going to jump long jump for 5 meters, and if your knee or hip is not supporting, your joint are not supporting you. So you will try it from your brain is thinking I will jump 5 meters, but your joint is thinking I cannot more than half meter. So there should be enough amount of Pacinian corpuscle within the joint. They are mainly joint sensor who can inform our joint about performing a specific task without having notice to brain. Brain can give you only instruction, only one feedback, but ultimately implementation. Brain can set a target. Brain is not going to help you in the doing all the activity. Brain can give you only target, a goal, but that goal is achieved by the proper muscle spindle fiber, GTOs, as well as your Pacinian corpuscle. Muscle spindle fiber decided how much length should be achieved by the muscle. This corpuscle can achieve how much bone movement should be. Okay, for any movement, muscle should move and bone should move. So bone movement is controlled by the presence of these corpuscles. Muscle movement is controlled by the presence of muscle spindle fiber. But it should not be excessive. If you do anything excessive, it can damage. So the excessive amount of activity is controlled by your GTOs. So they are three sensing organ which can be helpful if they have all three intact things. We can improve our performance by using all three things effectively. And next and last one is they are present in fascia, tendon, muscle, joint, and periosteum. It means they are present everywhere. And when we have discussed about joint is made up of all things. It has tendon, ligament, capsule, periosteum. Okay, so all are present, and all are forming joint. So they all collectively give sense to joint. What is the structure? Pacinian corpuscle. Last one is next free nerve endings. Whatever information, suppose a person with cancer dies, because in first and second stage he doesn't have any problem, any pain. But when patient feel pain, it is third stage, and doctor said to you, no, you cannot be saved because your cancer is advanced. Oh, you have only this amount of period to be lived. Clear? If you come to me in initial stage, I can cure you. This is the excuse by doctors. Why? Because we all go to doctor only when we have some clinical symptom, some problem. And pain is the most important clinical symptom in every field, either athlete activities or any normal life. Pain is the reporting organ. How we can notice we have pain? Same as silent gallbladder syndrome. Patient or silent appendicitis. These problems always resulted in death of patient. These problems, very smaller problem. Appendicitis is very small problem. Appendicitis is a structure which was available in all human beings which eat herbs. The main function of appendix is digestion of cellulose. All plant is covered with cellulose. That's why plants are not moving, we are saying they are not living. They are living but not moving like this. And we don't have cellulose. The only difference between plant and us is only presence of cellulose. Whole structure. Okay? And inside everything is living. But they have enclosed every living thing under a dead thing. Cellulose is a dead structure. But what happened in animal cell? Everything is living, but the enclosed by living structure, plasma membrane. This is the main difference. So appendicitis is a structure which is responsible for digestion of cellulose. Initially, whenever we will born in Adam's age, we have very advanced appendicitis. Some meters long. You can see cow. Cow has 5 meter appendix. Because they are using more cellulose, but we don't have. Because we have not used through the course of time, that's why it is going to be distinct and vestigial. These are vestigial organs. We have tail, we don't have tail. Because initially we are using it what is the purpose of tail? They can give you direction when you are walking, on photos, as well as they can prevent your anus and vagina from development of infection, because they are exposed tissues. There is some discharge, especially female, there is discharges, and discharging or wet areas are very prone for development of infection. So that's why God has given us tail which can cover your anus or as well as vagina. But what happened with the men? They have started walking with erect posture. Initially, when you go through evolution, they are saying initially man was walking on four toes, we were monkeys, then apes, then erect. So when we are walking erect, there is no need of balance. First thing. Second thing, we have to started using first plant leaves, then we have using cloths. So we are giving enough production by means of artificial things. So there is no need of tail. So now this tail is extincted. So I am discussing the importance of pain. And I have told you pain is a human best friend. Pain is a human best friend, because I was giving example appendicitis. If patient doesn't have any pain, suddenly patient dies. After postmortem, it was diagnosed that his appendix burst. So we should take pain as a human friend, and pain can aware us about the problem. We should go to doctor, we should take properly precautionary measure, and we can prevent the condition to get worsen. So we have different types of sensor in all tissues which are responsible for sending all information about damage or injury to our spinal cord and brain, and by getting information from those sensors, our brain can get aware and we can take timely precautionary measure, time intervention, and save ourselves, our body from development of complication. As I will give you example, like they are present everywhere: skin, muscle, fascia, tendon. It means all tissues, if they get damaged, they will have send information about damage to the brain. And what is that information? That is pain. Now we will discuss free nerve ending. They are sensor. They are sensory nerve fiber. There are mainly 4 nerve fibers present in the skin. Skin is the outermost layer of the body, and any changes is going on superior surface. This is the farthest from the brain. It is the structure which, like Kashmir, is the farthest from the brain. So government is putting more amount of IB in Kashmir rather than putting in Delhi. Same as God has given maximum amount of nociceptor in skin, because it is the most distal to our brain. There are mainly 4 type of sensor known as A alpha fiber, A beta fiber, A delta fiber, and C fiber. They have mechanically classify. They have named these fiber A alpha, A beta, A delta, and C. Out of 4, A delta and C fiber are mainly responsible for transmitting pain sensation to our brain. Out of these 4, A alpha, A beta are responsible for transmitting other information. But damaging information is transmitted via these 2 fibers, A delta and C fiber. Now we will discuss the peculiarities of all these 4 fibers. First is A alpha. If you are aware about nerve transmission, conduction of impulses within nerve. So the conduction of impulses is dependent on 2 things. First thing is diameter of nerve. If the nerve has broader, it can conduct the things fastly. Same for everywhere. If the road is wider, you can drive very fast. But if the road is narrower, you cannot drive faster. Same as if the nerve fiber has large diameter, broader diameter, you can run fast. And second thing is myelin sheath. All the nerves are covered with the insulating layer known as myelin sheath. If your electrical wire is properly covered, it will properly conduct the electrical current. But if it is cut somewhere, so it can discharge some current. It can cause losing some amount of current without reaching to the destination. Clear? So same as A alpha fiber, when you talk about its quality, A alpha fiber is the largest in diameter. Largest in diameter and myelinated fiber. A alpha fiber is the largest in diameter and myelinated fiber, and because of these 2 qualities, A alpha fiber conduct information at very faster speed. So all the normal stimulus like touch, you have touched me and my brain is noticing if someone is touching. This information is passed to the brain via A alpha fiber. The normal speed of A alpha fiber is around 50 meter per second. It can conduct any information at the speed of 50 meter per second, and this type of fiber can be stimulated by applying any normal stimulus. Normal stimulus means normal touch, normal cold, normal heat, normal, everything normal will be conducted to brain and spinal cord via A alpha fiber. Second is A beta fiber. A beta fiber is large in diameter. A alpha was largest. A beta is large in diameter as well as myelinated. It means the velocity of A beta is also high but lesser than A alpha. So the speed of conduction of A beta fiber is around 30 meter per second. It means 20 less than A delta, A beta or A alpha. So what is the function of A beta fiber? Whenever you are applying any stimulus which is more than normal, like compression, mild distraction, mild vibration, or massage, these procedures or therapeutic electric current or ultrasound current, whatever modalities used by physiotherapists, they are using those modalities only and only to activate the activity of A beta fiber. Clear? Next, nerve ending is A delta fiber. What is A delta fiber? I have told you they are basically real nociceptors. They are small diameter and myelinated. Small diameter and myelinated. I have told you initially, speed of conduction is depend on two things. First thing is diameter, more fast speed. If myelinated, more speed, non-myelinated, less speed. Clear? So third fiber is small diameter and myelinated, and because of small diameter, it will conduct information. And how we can stimulate this? If you apply any type of noxious mean damaging. If you apply any noxious mechanical stimulus, noxious electrical stimulus, or noxious thermal stimulus. What is noxious thermal? The temperature which is more than our tolerable limit. Our tolerable limit is 45 degree. Over 45 degree of temperature, our protein denaturate, enzyme denaturate, and it can cause burn as well as death of tissues. So any stimulus which is more than our tolerable limit can damage our skin or tissues, and when there will be damage in our tissues, it will stimulate your A delta fiber, and A delta fiber will be stimulated. It will transmit pain information to spinal cord, and from spinal cord the information will go to brain. Clear? And when there is injury, A delta fiber will be stimulated. The speed of A delta fiber is 10 to 12 meter per second. So when there will be any injury, suddenly we feel fast pain. But after some time, the pain decreases. What happens? When we got injury, tissues get damaged, brain get aware, so brain sends some chemical in those areas, and because of tissue injury, some chemical comes out and creates swelling. Even along with that swelling, some chemical is sended by brain and some by the damaged cell which are present in those areas. The purpose of sending those chemical is to create pain in those areas, because I have told you pain is a defense mechanism. So when there will be pain, person will not use that part, and when person will not use that part, the part can be further escaped from injury. So patient will having pain because of presence of chemical, and these chemical has capability to stimulate your C fiber. C fiber is small in diameter and non-myelinated, and the conduction speed of C fiber is 2 to 4 meters per second. As we see, A delta fiber is conducting transmission by 10 to 12 meters per second, whereas C fiber is conducting transmission by 2 to 4 meters. So the pain perceived by stimulation of C fiber is slower. So just immediate after injury we feel faster pain, but after some time we feel lesser pain. It is because of stimulation of C fiber. So these are the field of ending which send information of pain to our brain. In the next class, we will discuss how we can manage pain by getting information. Okay, thank you. I was telling you, the muscle spindle, they are supplied by both alpha motor neuron, gamma motor neuron, and group 1 afferent fiber, afferent and efferent, okay? You may not be familiar with all these words, but you should know sensory and motor, okay? Sensory is afferent, A-F-F-E-R-E-N-T, whereas motor is efferent. Sensory is responsible for sending peripheral information to brain and spinal cord, and motor or efferent is responsible for acting or responding to that sensors, to that information. So you can see the diagram of muscle spindle fiber, centrally it is bulged, that portion is not contracting, but whenever there is any stimulus from gamma motor neuron, only peripheral portion is contracting, clear? And you can see also the main sensor, group 1 and group 2 fiber are sensory nerve. Sensory nerve means they are sending the information of spindle to the spinal cord. So you can see the whole portion of, whole medial portion, bulge portion is fully circled by a sensory nerve. So if there is any changes take place in the centrally bulge portion, the information of that change will be sent to the spinal cord. Now we will discuss intrafusal and extrafusal fiber. I have told you spindle fibers are made up of intrafusal fiber, whereas parallel muscle fibers are extrafusal fiber, and both are parallel to each other. Both are parallel to each other. Whereas when we talk about the supply, motor supply, your intrafusal fiber are supplied by gamma motor neuron. Clear? And your extrafusal fiber are supplied by alpha motor neuron. What is motor neuron? They are bringing information from spinal cord or from brain to stimulate the nerve fiber, and by getting a stimulus they will respond. That is contraction. Clear? The extrafusal fiber placed parallel to intrafusal fiber. These are the extrafusal fiber, and this is the intrafusal fiber, and 10 intrafusal fibers make one spindle. 10 intrafusal fibers made one muscle spindle. Both are parallel. Both are parallel. And I have also told you extrafusal fibers are contractile in whole the length, whereas intrafusal fibers are contractile only at the periphery, and this one is only receptor. It has whole the nerve supply of sensory nerve supply. Whatever process is going on the periphery, it will transmit information to the spinal cord. Now come to intrafusal fiber. Spindle muscle cell are different. Nuclei in middle, equatorial region of cell. Middle region does not contract, no contractile filament. When we are talking about intrafusal fiber, I have told you that the middle bulge portion doesn't contract, but contraction taken place at the both end. End polar region have contractile filament and contract, whereas extrafusal contract throughout the length. Types of intrafusal muscle cell: dynamic bag, static bag, and nuclear chain. What are all these things? Dynamic bag mean when you see up cylinder, it is responsible for. Dynamic bag mean these fibers, when they are getting, they move. After getting stimulus from alpha gamma motor neuron, whenever motor nerve, I have told you, given example like fan will move when it will get current from electrical wire. Same as any muscle, any neuron, any spindle will move when it will get current from motor neuron. So gamma motor neuron bring current, and it can cause contraction of the peripheral side of this spindle. So this side is known as dynamic bag, and this medial portion which doesn't contract is known as static bag. And dynamic, typically one spindle large contract rapidly. You can see it is larger in size, whereas it is smaller in size. It contracts rapidly, whereas a static bag typically one spindle and smaller contract slowly. Second is dynamic chain. What is the difference between bag and chain? You can see two spindles, one spindle and two spindles. Here there is multi-nuclei filled in bag. There is multiple level of nuclei filled in bag. That is why it is known as bag. Whereas in other spindle, all nuclei are arranged in a chain, a straight line. That's why it is known as chain, muscle spindle chain. 5 to 10 spindle is smallest and contract slowly. Motor innervation of muscle spindle. Motor means the nerve which are responsible for generation of movement. Clear? Gamma motor neuron is smaller, 1 to 8 microns axon diameter than alpha motor neuron, form up to 30% of all axon in ventral root. I have told you ventral part of spinal canal, spinal cord is responsible for movement activities, whereas dorsal portion of spinal cord, dorsal side of spinal cord is responsible for receiving sensory information. Gamma motor neuron, dynamic motor neuron and gamma static motor neuron. Sensory innervation. Primary and secondary, as I have shown you figure, they have two types of sensory neurons. One is primary and one is secondary. And there are two types of innervation. Annulo spiral ending and second is flower spray ending. These neurons end in the muscle spindle by two mechanisms. One is by annulo spiral ending. Go back to the figure. Or more. See here. If you see this afferent neuron, they are ended over the muscle spindle fiber in spiral ending. These are spiral ending of afferent neuron over the muscle spindle fiber. Whereas if you see this type of neuron, they are ended in a flower shape. They are ending in flower shape ending. Now we have discussed about the types, how it's formed, how your spindle, Golgi tendon and extraphyseal fiber, that is muscle, how they are arranged in a muscle belly. Suppose this is a muscle, one muscle, two muscle. In between there is a intraphyseal fiber. Clear? Extraphyseal is actin myosin. Extraphyseal is actin myosin. In between there is a muscle spindle as well as some more intraphyseal fiber muscle. So whenever you will stretch along with contractile element, peripheral portion of spindle will stretch. Clear? Next is when I am talking about muscle. Muscle is fibers are going, then making tendon attached to bone. So where tendon attached to bone or where muscle is converted into tendon, there is a GTO present. Now we will discuss the function of muscle spindle. Muscle spindle function as a receptor organ for stress reflex, and second is maintaining muscle tone. There are mainly two functions of muscle spindle. First is receptor organ for stress reflex, second is maintaining muscle tone. Suppose if we are doing some activity, we are carrying some load, so we are able to maintain the muscle tone constantly. Otherwise, if we decrease the tone, what happens? The object will fall down. Sometime because of you are not conscious and something fell down from your hand. It is because of inability of your muscle to maintain constant tone. There may be deficiency of spindle fiber or there is some disease. So you have to train that person for improvement of muscle spindle in his muscle belly. The more number of muscle spindle present in the muscle belly, the patient can perform the movement. You can see the writing. Someone can write very neat and clean. Someone can write very badly. It is not your fault. It is because of presence of muscle spindle in your finger muscle. If you want to improve writing, you have to do those exercises which can multiply the amount of muscle spindle in your fiber. So someone can, God gifted, someone has more amount of spindle in his muscle, so they have more fine movement, more fine drawing, more fine writing. Those who have less number of muscle spindle, they have bad writing, bad movement. Clear? Now we are going to discuss how these muscle spindle plays its role in maintaining the muscle tone. Role of muscle spindle in stretch reflex. Monosynaptic reflex. You know what is monosynaptic reflex? Whatever information is going from periphery, it will go to the spinal cord. And at spinal cord, it will make a synapse. What is synapse? Connection of two things, two different neurons. When we talk about muscle or conduction transmission, if someone is touching here, even I am sleeping, my eyes closed, but my brain is feeling someone is touching me from on finger. It means there is something which is transmitting the information to the brain. Okay? So there is one nerve fiber coming from here to here, but the nerve end. Again, second nerve start, but they are not attached. There is a junction. They both are separate, but even without separation, they are able to transmit its information to other nerve. Okay? I have given you first order neuron, third order, second order. When we will discuss about the physiology of nerve, then we will come in detail, go in detail. But here I would like to tell you that whatever nerve is coming, it is not one nerve from here to brain. From here to brain, there are 4 neurons, 3 neurons, first order neuron. From periphery to spinal cord, that neuron end. Again, from spinal cord to brain, second neuron. And from brain to different other areas of brain. We can perceive pain, and even we can perceive which type of pain we have. Either we have burning pain, or we have chemical pain, or we have pressure pain, or we have stretching pain. We can perceive. It means there are 3 neurons, first order, second order, third order, which are transmitting information. First order will bring here to here. Clear? Suppose if you want to transport something from your AMU, first you will have some rickshaw which will deliver the material to the station. Then the station person will keep it on trolley, put it on train, then train, it will go to the station, then they will again transport. So there are number of transporting medium. There is some breakage. You cannot use one thing to supply from here to here. You can use a number of steps. Same as one neuron come from here to spinal cord. From other spinal cord to brain, other neuron. From brain to different specific center who can interpret the type of information. Okay? Who can interpret the type of information. Suppose you have pain because of crush. So your brain is able, someone has crushed us. This means your third neuron has supplied this information to a specific center. Those are like computer, they can interpret, they can analyze the pain is because of which type of injury. Clear? So these neurons, they are first order, second order, third order, they are not interconnected. At one point they will end and other point start. So there is a gap and they make a synapse. This is known as junction of 2 neurons, transfer of information from one neuron to other neuron without having contact. And this type of contact is known as synapse. So there is a monosynaptic design in spinal cord. I have told you muscle spindle fiber are supplied by sensory and motor neurons. Sensory neuron will transmit information to spinal cord, and in the spinal cord, one neuron is sensory and other neuron is motor. Clear? Both are, one is going from here to here, other is going from here to here. Suppose this is the structure of neurons. Sensory neuron, the way of transmission is like this. And this neuron come to spinal cord and make a monosynaptic. Synaptic means contact without touching. Contact without touching. So this neuron make a monosynaptic connection with the motor neuron. The sensor will give information to motor and motor will respond immediately. Because the time taken is less. Because information comes to spinal cord and spinal cord to periphery. So it will take less time. But if what happens if the response come here to here, then here to here, then here to there, then again, so it will take more time. So muscle spindle fiber are responsible for stretch reflexes, and reflex mean emergency response, because your spindle fiber make a monosynaptic junction at the spinal cord, so all the sensory information is transferred to the motor neuron immediately at the spinal cord level. So spinal cord just instruct the part to perform accordingly. If you are feeling we need to have longer jump, we should longer. And these things are very important in sports. Suppose long jump, someone is trying to, who will jump more, who will cover more distance, he will win. If you multiply amount of spindles in your body or in your muscle which are responsible for long jump, so you can train the person accordingly, so he should have more amount of spindle, so whatever distance he has targeted he can achieve. Whatever feedback he has given to his muscle and spindle, they are able to achieve. You will input sensory input and they will perform by motor input. Because both are controlled by spinal cord level, so it will take less time, and within one attempt you will jump in longer distance. So monosynaptic reflex is the fastest reflex. Monosynaptic reflex means there is only one synapse. Normally there are polysynaptic connection. What is polysynaptic connection? I have told you before. Suppose someone is hurting you and immediately you are removing the part. But what happens? When you are removing the part, there is your other limb is going away. Clear? This is the ipsilateral and contralateral response. When you are flexing your one arm, other arm suddenly go away. It is managed by spinal reflexes, but this reflex is maintained by polysynaptic connection at the spinal cord. We will discuss later when we will discuss nociceptor. But because only one neuron, it is controlling only one function, if any person will do one work, it will can do easily and immediately. But if a person is doing more work, it takes more time. Same as here, the whole function, whole response is involved by monosynaptic reflexes. That's why it is the fastest reflex. So we don't need to think, and we are performing without thinking by getting information from muscle spindle fibers. Next is anti-gravity muscle exhibit prolonged contraction during stress reflex. We all are sitting in flex posture. We all are having habit of sitting in flex posture. And if you feel here, you all may have pain here. When you press it here, you feel pain. It is because of constant tension, because of presence of muscle spindle fiber. What happens? And it will cause prolonged contraction during stress reflex. What spindle do? It can reverse the action. It can reverse the action. So when you are stretching your muscle, your spinal cord will feel, no, the person is sitting in wrong posture. So body will try to correct it. So it will respond through spinal cord via monosynaptic connection. It will generate contraction force in the muscle and your trapezius will get tight, because these are anti-gravity muscle. And anti-gravity muscle, if they relax, if your anti-gravity muscle relax, you will fall down. If your anti-gravity muscle relax, you will fall down. Suppose you are doing something, and because of any reason, if your anti-gravity muscle get stretched. What is anti-gravity muscle? They are working against gravity. And by working against gravity, they are giving us stability. They are making us stand erect. But if they will get relaxed, we will fall down. So we should not fall down in any work by this mechanism, because of monosynaptic reflexes, because of presence of muscle spindle fiber. You can see some neuro patient, even they are trying to stand, they will fall down. They are not able to stand because they have lose their reflexes. And immobilization means keeping away from any person from mobility. When you immobilize any person from any mobility, ultimately his muscle will decrease. Extrafusal and intrafusal, both fiber will decrease in number. Even you can feel when you get up in the morning, when you just stand up, you are not feeling balance. It is because of prolonged immobilization. During whole the night, you lose balance, and when you get up, your muscle get activated, then the spindle will activated, and you will feel more stable. But you just suddenly get up after prolonged sleep, you will feel instability. So I am telling, it is because of muscle spindle fiber or muscle, anti-gravity muscle can make stand us erect against gravity even in pathological condition. Clear? Next function of response of muscle spindle to stretch. Response of muscle spindle to stretch. There are two responses. First is dynamic response and second is static response. Dynamic and static response. When change in length of muscle by stretching primary nerve fibers from muscle spindle discharging impulses very rapidly. See here. During muscle contraction, there will be changes in muscle fiber length. Clear? Because of contraction relaxation, muscle fiber will be changed in length, and because the spindle fiber are parallel to muscle fiber. Clear? So when there is any change in muscle length, your fiber will contract. Spindle fiber will contract. When it will contract, both end are conductile and medial one is non-conductile. So because both ends are attached with the medial bulging end, when they will contract, they will have a stretching effect over mid portion. Clear? And when they will have a stretching effect over mid portion, the sensory nerve around the mid portion will get activated. Any activity in this fiber will be supplied to spinal cord. When there is any mobility, any activity, any process is going in the medial portion, because medial portion is supplied by spiral ending of sensory nerve. So whenever muscle filament will contract, because along with filament your spindle are parallel. When you suppose take a rubber, I take a string. When you stretch the rubber will elongate, but it will create tension over the string. Same as when there is any activity, it will stretch the fiber. So because these two ends are conductile, they will shorten, but the medial one is non-conductile, so it will have a stretching effect. If you are flexible enough, you can get shortened, but if you are not flexible, you will have only a stretch. And because of stretching, your neurons will get activated. So when change in length of muscle by stretching, primary nerve fibers from muscle spindle discharging impulse very rapidly, but discharge become less or nil during the continuous stretching of muscle. It means muscle spindle fiber are responsible for change in length when you are putting a constant tension. So this fiber can accommodate. This is a property of nerve. If you are giving anything constant, suppose our body has a good property of accommodation. Accommodation means adjustment of yourself according to external environment. So when you will try to maintain any constant stretch position, so after some time the nerve fiber will be accommodated, so they will not respond. So this process is known as, after some time, this is known as static mechanism, static stretching. When you will stretch the muscle, fiber will stretch, have stretching over the middle portion, activated, but after some time this response will finish and your spindle will not work. Second is dynamic response. Static impulses discharge continues from primary and secondary nerve fiber throughout period of stretch muscle. Static response. Come to next slide. Next, this. You can see here, there are two types of muscle spindle fiber. One is static bag and static chain. When you see the nerve supply, one nerve supplied both. One nerve supplied bigger, thicker one and narrower one, whereas the other nerve supplies only narrow one. Clear? So when there is a contractility, there is mobility, and you are trying to maintain constant mobility, constant stretch, after some time your spindle will not work. That is the static stretching. So muscle spindle will not inform you about change in length. But when you are constantly changing the length, dynamic activity, when you are doing dynamic activity, your spindle will stretch. It can stimulate sensory nerve. sensory nerve will give information to your spinal cord, and spinal cord is supplied by alpha motor neuron. Don't confuse with gamma motor neuron. Gamma motor neuron is supplying only your muscle spindle fiber. They are partially contractile tissue. They are partially contractile tissue. But alpha motor neuron are supplying your muscle fiber, actin myosin. They are basically giving message to muscle fiber. And when you are stimulating your gamma motor neuron, alpha is stimulated, it will transfer information to spinal cord, and in spinal cord, your sensory neurons are making synapse with the alpha motor neuron. Again, I am trying to explain you. There are three things: alpha motor neuron and gamma motor neuron. Clear? Alpha motor neuron supplied motor signal to the muscle fiber. That means extraphyseal fiber. Gamma motor neuron supplied information to muscle spindle fiber. These are two motor neurons, and there are two sensory neurons, type 1 and type 2, either primary or secondary. When there is any activity in muscle, smaller activity, even at resting stage, muscle has some amount of tone. Even at resting stage, muscle has some amount of tone. So when you maintain tone constantly, you are not changing the length of muscle. In those conditions, it will transmit information to spinal cord, and in spinal cord will maintain the tone. There is no any further activity in spindle fiber. But when there is complete stretching and complete change in length, the nerve fiber cannot accommodate, and they, because of no accommodation, they will continuously transmit information to spinal cord, and in spinal cord, these sensory nerves make a connection with alpha motor neuron. Alpha motor neuron is neuron which controls muscle contraction. So by getting information from sensory nerve, alpha motor neuron fire, and when alpha motor neuron fire, muscle will start contraction and you will perform movement. Next slide. See in this diagram. This diagram, gamma motor neuron are supplying spindle. Next diagram, show me. Yeah, this diagram. क्या हुआ? हैं? Time हो गया. Okay, we were discussing the mechanism how muscle spindle respond to a stretch. There are two types of response can be there. One is termed as dynamic response, and another is termed as static response. And when there is change in length by stretching, when you stretch the muscle, there will be change in length. And when there is any change in length, primary sensors will be activated. And because of activating of primary sensing, they will get discharged and they will send information to spinal cord. But when you are trying to maintain the stretch for constant speed and constant velocity and constant force, after some time your sensors will stop sending, because that amount of constant loading will not discharge them further. So after some time they will not be able to produce any response. So continuous stretching or static stretching can be stopped after some time. The discharge of muscle start only you have created some change in degree of stretching. Suppose if you are trying to stretch something, you should change the amount and length of stretching, and by continuously changing the length of stretching, you can maintain the continuously discharging of afferent fibers, sensor, first primary sensor. And this response is known as dynamic response. Now we will discuss about the static response. What is static response? As we have seen in the anatomy of muscle spindle fiber, there are two fibers, nuclear chain fiber and nuclear bag fiber, and primary and secondary sensor, if both are supplying, when they are both are activating, they can cause stimulation of both. So impulse discharge continuously from primary and secondary nerve ending throughout the period of stretch muscle. This type of response is known as static response. The nuclear chain fiber, which is innervated, we have seen in the diagram, by both fibers, are mainly responsible for that, and secondary nerve fiber are responsible. Which means the nuclear chain fiber, which is supplied by both primary and secondary nerve fiber are responsible for this type of static response. So muscle spindle give response to change in length as well as rate of change in length. If you have created any change of length, it is the muscle spindle which can inform the spinal cord in any change, and after if you are continuously changing the length, it can continuously informing the spinal cord, and a spinal cord accordingly give information to your alpha motor neuron, and alpha motor neuron will transmit signal to your muscle fiber, and muscle fiber will perform accordingly. So you will maintain any activity for regular level without disturbing the muscle and without having any problem in work, as well as you can maintain the muscle contraction by stimulating your extrafusal fiber. Now, next to role of muscle spindle in maintaining muscle tone. We have discussed there are two roles of muscle spindle fiber. First role is maintaining the muscle length and change in length. Second role is maintaining the muscle tone. Wow, now we will discuss what is muscle tone. A state of tension in muscle at rest. A state of tension. Even at resting stage we have some tension. If we don't have a loose flexor muscle, sometime after disease we may lose our tension, but even if we apply pressure it can resist. What is tension? It is maintained by continuous discharge of gamma motor neuron. As I have told you, our muscle spindle fibers are supplied by gamma motor neuron, and whenever there is any impulses is coming and there is continuous impulses is supplied to spindle fiber, peripheral structures are contracted, and because of contraction of the peripheral fiber of muscle spindle fiber, they have a regular tone, that is resting tone of muscle, and throughout the period, even at resting stage, muscle is able to maintain constant tone. Gamma motor neuron innervate intrafusal fiber responsible for contraction of end portion. Intrafusal fiber resulted in stretching of mild portion of intrafusal fiber, stimulate primary sensory nerve ending, send impulses to extrafusal fiber, causes contraction of muscle. As I have told you, intrafusal and extrafusal both are parallel to each other. When gamma motor neuron, which is supplying your muscle spindle fiber, when it will cause contraction of peripheral portion of muscle spindle fiber, it will contract. And because the muscle spindle extrafusal fiber are parallel to that fiber, contraction of this fiber will cause contraction of this fiber. And because of contraction of both, we will have some amount of muscle tone. So, we have seen muscle spindle fiber are responsible for maintaining muscle tone even at resting stage. When we are not doing any work, even in those conditions, our muscle tone is maintained. Now we will discuss the mechanism of Golgi tendon organ. The main function of GTO is encode muscle force. What is muscle force? I have told you muscle force should be not minimal, not maximal. If you apply minimal muscle force, the muscle will not be able to drag the bone toward its side, and when the bone will not come according to you, you cannot perform any mobility. So muscle should generate that amount of force which can counteract the force of gravity or weight of the body part. So the muscle force should be equal to that or more than that if you want some movement. But sometime because of overactivity of muscle can generate maximal amount of contraction, and when muscle will generate maximal amount of force, it can drag the outer covering of the bone and causes avulsion fracture. So there is a structure present between the tendon and muscle which is known as Golgi tendon organ, which is a controlling system, which is a controller sensor of muscle force generation. If it feels the muscle is generating damaging amount of tension, it activates and stops the muscle to generate maximal tension or damaging tension. We will discuss how it generates tension. Golgi tendon organs, large type sensory neuron, end in muscle tendon or cardiac tissue attachment, branches intertwine with collagen fiber, large forces applied to tendon cause it to become taut. It means tendon, what is Golgi tendon organ? They are a bunch of sensors. GTO is a bunch of sensors which is encapsulated in capsule. All sensory nerve endings are enclosed in the capsule, and which is present between the tendon and muscle. GTO organ discharges intensely in isometric contraction. What is isometric contraction? When the amount of external force will be equal to amount of internal force. Suppose you are applying force from outside, I am applying from inside, and both forces are equal. It means muscle is contracting, but there is no change in muscle length. Isometric. Iso means same, metric means length. So when the amount of external force is equal to amount of internal force, that type of contraction is known as isometric contraction. And as we have seen in isometric contraction, the tone increases in muscle, tension increases in muscle, and if there is more generation of tension in muscle, it can put more tension over tendon, and tendon could put more tension on bone, and because of more tension, it can avulse bone. It can cause avulsion fracture, periosteal stripping. Periosteum means the outer covering of bone, from where tendon attach. When tendon exerts more pressure, it can drag the outermost covering of the bone and causes avulsion fracture. Muscle length stay about same. Muscle tendon stretches slightly. Tension on tendon is proportional to force. Whatever will be the contraction of muscle, tendon will generate force over bone, and the bone will move according to that force. If muscle generate more force, tendon will exhibit more tension, and bone will move with more tension. If muscle will contract with less force, tendon will exert less force, muscle will produce less force. Passive stretch or tendon tap do not excite tendon. What is passive stretching? Passive stretching means you are trying to stretch the muscle. When you are trying to stretch the muscle, it means you are going for muscle lengthening. Stretching is just opposite of contraction. When muscle is going for contraction, the actin and myosins are come closer, and because of coming closer, they are going to be compact. But when you go for stretching, stretching means going apart. Whenever you will apply any stretching force or any tapping, tapping means applying some tap, it will never cause activation of Golgi tendon organ. Golgi tendon organ activated only when there is more tension because of forceful muscle contraction. Here we are trying to explain the whole mechanism, how GTO works or how muscle spindle works with the help of this diagram. As you can see here, the semicircle or lunar shape is spinal cord. One blue line is going to spinal cord. It is motor nerve. It is motor nerve, and one green line is going to spinal cord, then to brain. You can see in the diagram, in spinal cord, green line is making connection with blue one, as well as one information is going to brain. So all the reflexes, all the immediate action, all the emergency action should be managed by spinal cord. If you will wait for brain to act, it will be too late, and you will damage your part more. So God has given us a quality to our spinal cord. If in any emergency condition, our spinal cord can act immediately without informing the boss. Okay? First, it will save itself. Then it can inform the boss, I was in the damage, I was in the danger, and I have taken this measure, this precaution, but this amount of loss I had, now you do whatever you want. So the information of periphery is directly sent to brain, but if the information is damaging in nature, so it is having a synapse with a spinal cord, so spinal cord can alter the alpha motor neuron, which is controlling the activity of extrafusal fiber. Intrafusal fiber is having sensory and motor. Whenever there is any activity in the muscle area, intrafusal fiber directly informs to spinal cord. And in a spinal cord, intrafusal fiber is making synapse with the neuron of extrafusal fiber. So it will stimulate the alpha motor neuron, and alpha motor neuron is responsible for activation of muscle contraction. So muscle will contract, and you will remove your part from the area. Suppose I am putting my hand here and someone is pinching here, pinning here, or applying some noxious stimulus. We can contract our muscle and we can remove immediately This is known as flexor withdrawal. Flexor withdrawal or reflex action. So you can see how these neurons are supplying the muscle spindle fiber. These are muscle fibers. In between there is muscle spindle, and muscle spindle is richly supplied by different types of nerve. Nerve means sensor. Sensor means information system. The country which has a stronger information system, why America is going on top? Because his FBI is much more stronger than RA and ISI. That's why they are ruling all over the world. Same as in the body, those areas, those structures, those tissues which are highly sensitive, which are having enough amount of sensory as well as motor supply, they are saved from the damaging stimuli, and those structures which are not having these structure, these nerves, these motor nerves, they are predisposed for injuries. Now we will discuss the function of Golgi tendon organ. As I have told you, it is the monitor. It is the monitor, same as GTO, same as muscle spindle fiber. Muscle spindle fiber is responsible for length changes and tone changes. Length changes and tone changes. Whereas they can be helpful in performing different types of activity. When we need some tonic activity, we should try to strengthen our GTO muscle spindle fiber. When we need some length activities, we need more length for any specific activity. Suppose like high jump. When you are going high jump, we should generate more length for the muscle, especially for the hamstring and glutei. When how much they elongate, that much amount of distance we can cover in high jump. Same as here, the function of GTO. GTO is the monitor who can prevent us, who can save our muscle as well as bone from tear and avulsion fracture. First part of the function, give response to change in force or tension. If there is any increase in force in muscle or tendon, because GTO is present between tendon and muscle, it is a monitor. It is present between muscle and tendon. If there is any excessive increase in tension, this will be activated, and by activation it can inform the spinal cord, and the spinal cord react according to that. Next is receptor for inverse stress reflex or lengthening reaction. Third is role in forceful contraction, that is inhibitory role. We first will discuss role in tension. We are going to discuss role in tension. How GTO can prevent our muscle or tendon or periosteum from injury when it feels the amount of contraction by a particular muscle and tendon is more than normal. It immediately activated. And when it get activated, they are sensory nerve. They will inform the spinal cord. And spinal cord will have inhibitory synapse. Inhibitory means it can inhibit the supplying like switch. When you can off the switch, there is no lighting in bulb, no fan is moving because of switching. You have inhibited the cord. Same as when your GTO signal the spinal cord there is some activity which is more than the capability, the spinal cord can switch the motor activity. It can switch the activity of alpha motor neuron, and alpha motor neuron is the neuron which is mainly responsible for contraction of muscle. When there is no activity in muscle, it will stop the muscle contraction, and it can prevent muscle or tendon for development of excessive contraction. Like suppose if somewhere there is a electrical shock. Proprioceptors. What is proprioceptor? Because God cannot give us eye in every tissues and every system of body. We have only 2 eyes. But we are effectively using our different parts, saving them from injury and maximally utilizing them. How? How it is possible? Because God has given us some internal eyes, some internal monitor. By using those monitor, these tissues are used effectively as well as prevent themselves from injury. And these informative system, these sensors are known as proprioceptor. In this chapter, we are going to discuss with the function of muscle sensory receptors. Movement can be performed without thinking about them. I have told you, brain is the superpower, brain is controlling all systems, but in some emergency conditions, where we don't have enough time, so we cannot inform brain to respond. In emergency condition, we have to take our own decision immediately, and for taking immediate decision, we need some quick actions, and for taking quick action, we should adopt some shorter route. So these receptors are sending information and getting response from a spinal cord which is nearer to brain, so we can perform some quick reactions by using these sensors. And there are 4 major types of receptors present in muscle as well as different tissues which form our joint, which are mainly utilized for movement, because without bone or without muscle we cannot move the part, as well as nerve, bone and muscle, neuromuscular and musculoskeletal system, they can work in coordination and conjugation, so to perform movement and any task. So these things, these fibers are highly available, highly present in nerve, muscle and bone. And muscle, bone and nerve, they don't have any external eye. By using these things inside them, they are getting information and responding accordingly. Muscle spindle fiber, Golgi tendon organ, Pacinian corpuscle and nociceptor. Muscle spindle fiber is mainly responsible for length changes and tone changes in muscle. How much tone is required to perform a specific task, or how much length is required to perform a specific task, is controlled by muscle spindle fiber without giving information to the brain. Second is Golgi tendon organ. Golgi tendon organ is a structure which is present in between the tendon and contracting muscle. It is the barrier between muscle fiber and tendon. In some situation where there is excessive contraction of muscle, because of excessive contraction of muscle, it can exert excessive tension over tendon, and when tendon becomes tense, it will create excessive tension over the bone, and bone can get avulsed. So to prevent muscle, tendon and bone from injury, there is a structure which is responsible for preventing the bone, muscle and tendon from injury. They are basically free nerve endings which has a monosynaptic connection with a spinal cord. When they send information to spinal cord order your alpha motor neuron, which are responsible for muscle contraction. It can stop the activity of alpha motor neuron, so muscle will not contract at all, and ultimately muscle will relax. So GTO is responsible for prevention of excessive tension generation in muscle, as well as it is also responsible for relaxation of muscle. Third is Pacinian corpuscles. We need different joint angles, different angulation over bone and joint for performing different athletic as well as functional activities, and these activities are effectively performed by the presence of Pacinian corpuscle. They are known as joint proprioceptor. Because of immobilization, the amount of or number of these corpuscles can be decreased, and in those cases patient will have less joint sense, so he cannot perform any task effectively. And last one is nociceptor, which are responsible for sending any damaging information, noxious information to the spinal cord and brain. So brain and spinal cord take immediate action to prevent as well as to save or to development of further complication.